Hello, welcome to Vegan Middle East. Today we are making Burma Kadayıf, a sweet Turkish dessert made with pastry, syrup and nuts. It tastes similar to baklava, but instead of having layers of phyllo pastry and nuts, the shredded pastry is wrapped around the nuts. Burma is Turkish for twisting, while Kadayıf refers to the pastry. So follow this recipe if you want to be able to make Burma Kadayıf from home, ready to eat in under an hour, only using 6 ingredients and 1 pan. Subscribe if you want more vegan Middle Eastern recipes. You will need Kadayıf pastry at room temperature, oil, pistachios, vegan butter, sugar, lemon and water. If your Kadayıf is frozen, take it out of the freezer the night before. Whenever your Kadayıf packet is open, wrap it in a damp tea towel to stop it drying out. Put all the ingredients for the syrup in a saucepan. Bring to the boil, mixing the sugar until dissolved. Simmer for 3 minutes, then remove from the heat and let cool. The syrup should be cold when the pastry is ready. Grease a deep frying pan with vegan butter and chop the nuts either by hand or using a blender. Take the Kadayıf out of the packet and find the place where the strands fold over. From here, separate the pastry into flat segments of about 10 cm width, each one containing several strands. You can rub strands that are stuck together between your fingers to loosen them. Lie one segment so that one end has the fold and the other has the loose ends. Make sure there aren't any big gaps between the strands. Sprinkle pistachios along the centre of the pastry. Pull the folded end in and over the nuts and continue to slowly roll the pastry to create a diagonally twisted tube. Check the twist is even along the pastry. I did this by continuing to turn the first end with one hand and moving the other hand along to roll the pastry over and check that gaps didn't appear. Once you have your twisted pastry tube, pick up both ends and place along the edge of a greased frying pan. Repeat the pastry twisting until you have one large spiral in the pan. Leave a small amount of pistachios for decoration later. Once all the pastry is in the pan, you can readjust to make sure it is neat without gaps. Use the bottom of a cup to press down the pastry and tuck in any loose ends. Pour 100 ml of oil across the pastry and put the pan on low heat. Keep moving the pan so that the flame heats different parts of the pan. After 20 minutes, slightly lift up pieces with a knife to check whether they are brown underneath. Keep cooking any areas that aren't brown. Once it is evenly cooked, place a plate on top of the pan and flip upside down. Put the plate aside and remove any burnt bits from the pan. Then slide the pastry gently from the plate back to the pan and pour the remaining 50 ml of oil back into the pan. Cook this side in the same way as before, moving the pan around to heat different areas. Listen to that sizzle. When the pastry has finished cooking, pour the cold syrup directly into the pan. You can then serve the Burma Kadayıfı in 10 cm pieces and serve with decorative pistachios. You can either grind these into a powder or chop them into chunks. This syrup-soaked vegan crispy pastry is delicious when fresh and can keep for a week. Find the full recipe at veganmiddleeast.com and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more.